$10 an hour. He said, I'll pay you $15 an hour. I said, whoa, she got hooked up. I'm a motivational speaker, the inspirational person, but I can learn from her because of her attitude. Say attitude. Attitude. Say I'm an eagle, not a pigeon. Not a pigeon. And G is for goals. Say goals. Goals. You know, to be focused and have a plan. Young people, have a plan for your life. And have goals written down. I like to be interactive. How many of us think, what number can you think of how many people in America have written goals? What percentage? 10%? That's pretty high. But it's lower, 5, a little lower. About 3%. And out of that 3%, only half of those people actually act out on their goals. I remember listening to Oprah Winfrey one time, and someone said, what's the secret, Oprah, to your success? So I was really watching just to see, well, okay, Oprah's going to give this enlightenment and these words of wisdom. And she said something so simple and so succinct. She said, I just had goals. And I wrote it down, and I followed it. Come on, Oprah. No, you had to do something else. But tell me, what else was it? I had goals, I wrote them down, and I followed them. By the time I was 25, she wanted to do radio and television. By the time she was 30, she wanted to host a show. By the time she was 40, she wanted to become a millionaire. How many of us know she blew that without the water? But goals. If you can write down your goal and say, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to persist on, you can do it. Now, one thing about an eagle, another attribute that correlates with goals is that an eagle is not a scavenger. An eagle will not eat any meat that it hasn't killed personally. Other birds will swoop down and eat anything that they see. An eagle, if it hasn't killed it, it won't touch it because it has a plan when it attacks. It may see a fish in the water, maybe 100, 200 yards away. Then it takes its time as it matriculates down. Then it swoops down and gets its prey. That's because it has a plan and it has goals. Say, I have a goal. I have a goal. Say, I'm an eagle. I'm an eagle. Not a pigeon. Not a pigeon. And L is for leadership. Say, leadership. Leadership. You know what? Let's give another round of applause. This is what this organization is about. Leadership. Actually, in Northeast Ohio, that's what we need. Good leadership. Someone that said, hey, I'm willing to take the ball and run with it. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not even afraid if I don't make it because it's better to try. How many of us know people just don't try sometimes? But you would be so surprised that once you get going, what will happen? And so leadership is such a positive thing. And if you ever look at an eagle rides along, flies along. When was the last time you seen some pigeons and some ducks and then you see the eagle? The eagle is separated. And all of us today, all of us, our eagles will have the potential to become an eagle. It doesn't hang with the pigeons because the eagle has a plan and it's going to go out. And leadership is so important. I've seen good leadership and I've seen leadership wasted. I remember doing a program at the Cuyahoga Boys Home a few years ago. And I did a program every Thursday. It was in a round table with a group of young men. There was one young man who stood out. He was different than the rest of the young men. The other young men had this hardcore exterior. But this young man just seemed different. So I asked the superintendent, why is he in here? He said, murder. Murder? This little? No way. He just seemed different. He talked different. His mannerisms was different. But this is what happened. He lost his capacity to become a leader. He grew up in Westerville, Ohio. Both of his parents were physicians and doctors. So he had a good background. Smart, intelligent, and at the time, I didn't know you could have, I'm getting there, but he's a scholar, but you could have more than a 4.0 GPA. He had higher than a 4.0 GPA. But one day, he decided to become a follower and not a leader. And so he took his dad's pistol and put it in his book bag to show off. He took it to the schools, and one young man pushed him. He went into the book bag to grab it, and the gun went off. And it instantly killed the young man. And I said, wow. This happened about 4 years ago. Some of the adults may remember this. Here's a young man who potentially could throw his life away because he decided to become a follower. Bright, intelligent, higher than a 4.0 GPA. Both of his parents are physicians. Everything is right there for him. But he decided to become a follower. Young people, whatever you do not follow the wrong crowd. Adults, we should clap on that one. Whatever you do,